Okay, does the mic work? I think the mic works. I mean, that is weird. Blue Yeti. Okay. I guess the mic does work. I mean, I don't know how to fix it, but hold on a second. Can anyone hear me? This is the more important question I'm trying to figure out right now. Anyways, 7 4 6 4 3 6. Okay, I don't know how to do this. This is all kind of coming at me at once, and I apologize. Okay, home. How do I go to my page? Okay, home. Home page. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna be streaming painting for a bit. Okay, cool. All right. Apparently, no one can hear me, and I don't know how to fix it, to be honest. So apparently no one can hear me, and I don't know how to fix it, to be honest. Or no. Apparently no one can hear me. I don't know how to fix it, to be honest. Or no. Wait. Oh, someone can't hear me. Okay, we're good. Then why is it blinking? Or no. Oh, someone can't hear me. Okay, we're good. Then why is it blinking? Or no. Oh, someone can't hear me. Okay, I mean, whatever. I guess. I mean, whatever. I guess. I mean, whatever. I guess. Speaker is working. I mean, whatever. I guess. All right, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna question things I don't understand. All right, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna question things I don't understand. All right, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna question things I don't understand. All right, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna question things I don't understand. Alright, I'm not gonna. Alright. I'm not gonna question things I don't understand. Let's paint something, I guess. So save browser. So yeah, it's been a little crazy, a crazy week. So, you know, I haven't really been around as much as I'd like to, I guess. So it's been a little bit of a yeah, just kind of hectic, man. Like that's kind of, there's only one way to kind of put it. It's kind of hectic. So yeah, we're just gonna paint and hang out for a bit and see what we can do in an hour's time. So if you're here for the first time, yeah, I appreciate it. My Twitter's been kind of going crazy, and I don't know how to do that or what to do with that. And of course, as soon as I try to get my Wacom to work, it's not working. So let's go to. I apologize for wasting your first few minutes of the time. Okay, here we go. Are we back? I think we're back. Cool. All right, yeah. And I guess that's what we're doing. I'm gonna take off my watch because my watch is kind of blowing up right now. And hopefully it's all working. Sweet. Cool. Then we are good. And I have something on my other screen here, so I'm just making sure that I can kind of see everything. And we're good to go. Let's so clouds have been kind of the thing right now, so I guess we'll kind of rock that way, you know? I don't know how big this canvas is. How big is this canvas? It's 3,000. All right, we can work with that. So might be nice to kind of create something cloud-based, classical-based, something just simple, because we haven't painted probably in a couple of weeks, just because just because it's kind of been like a super busy or kind of just hectic time for a lot of people. So there's a lot of people that were kind of coming through and you know, checking up on me. So for all the people that were checking up on me, all that kind of stuff, like I really appreciate it. That's really cool. Normally I'm a pretty not private person, but usually I'm not kind of in the limelight or anything like that, or just in general I keep to myself. So I don't have a lot of people messaging me on the daily for any particular reason. So I'm just not used to that kind of attention per se, I guess is probably the best way to kind of put it. So it was interesting to kind of have all these people that are you know, friends of mine, of course, that are just kind of like, hey, how you doing? Just want to check on you, say what's up, and you know, say hi, and you know, just let you know if you ever need anything. So it was cool to hear people kind of just reach out and support, I guess is probably the biggest way to kind of put it. And then also people kind of reach out and want to know more, which I think is even crazier. People saying, hey, you know, and these are things I didn't know about, you know, where can I learn more about the history and stuff like that. So, you know, for the people that were wanting to be better and wanting to learn more, you know, that's huge. And I think that's kind of a tribute to artists always wanting to kind of better themselves. And so if you were one of those people, then you know, I definitely appreciate it. Cool. Yes, I am using an art pen with rotation because that is meta, man. That's like, because when you want to do clouds, dude, if you got that rotation, man, it makes everything super easy. Like you can get all kinds of just super nice little angles, and then erasing from it is like, you get it's much more kind of easier, chunkier shapes when you kind of have that that rotation. I mean, maybe I just got kind of used to it over time, but I never really had too much of an issue with it. So I've been kind of lucky in that regard that like it hasn't really been too much of a bother. Again, I think when I first started doing it, it probably was like kind of annoying actually. So I can't say that that it was like probably an easy transition, because it probably wasn't if I had to remember. But yeah, I think I just saw kind of the benefits of it, and I was like, yeah, I definitely need to kind of like get on that. And so I just kind of started to just kind of immerse myself more in it. So yeah, that's kind of how that came about. Because ironically, I had an art pen for so long too, which was crazy. I just never utilized it for whatever reason. I didn't know that I was using it like incorrectly. Like I think I first got the art pen and someone was telling me about rotation, and then someone was like, "Yo, like use rotation. It's like game changing." And then I think I tried it, but I think I was using like the wrong rotation. And then I remember like I tried it and I was like, "What? Like this is dumb." And then I like literally like put it away and never looked at it again. And then it wasn't until someone was like, "You dummy, like you're not using it right." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I pulled it back out, and then I was like, "Oh, crazy, this is like total game changer." In terms of like me being efficient, like with my work, like I can paint like a lot faster. Which is important because sometimes, you know, you want to play Apex, and if I want to play Apex, then you know, I gotta be faster. So it's definitely definitely an issue. No, I haven't gotten the Valorant train yet. Like, I thought about it, but I'm not really like a PC guy though. I think that's probably my issue. Because I'm a PS4 guy, I like to have that separation of like of work, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Like, I don't I don't like to use my PC for gaming because then I feel like I'll play games too easily because it's super easy to like and super easy to kind of like just, you know, turn it on and be like, hey, let's play a game real quick, and then next thing you know, like hours go by. Whereas the PS4, I feel like it's like a conscious choice to kind of say, hey, like I'm gonna like turn this on, like log on, you know, I'm gonna turn off my computer and just like use that. So it's probably doesn't make any sense, and it's probably like not really like a good excuse, but in my head, like that's my rationale for it. And so I'm like, yo, I gotta have that disconnect. So I try to keep my machine just for work only. So in my head, I'm like, if I keep it for just for work, then I'm more likely to be more efficient. I mean, especially during a pandemic, right? When like you're kind of most people are working from home. It's like games are like dangerous to me for a little bit. I don't want to get caught playing too many games or just like kind of just being inefficient with my time. I'm kind of a bad procrastinator, I would say. Like if I don't like kind of have someone telling me to do something, well, I mean, I'm pretty good at managing my time, but even then I'm like, dude, let's just play one more game, dude. And then next thing you know, you're trying to go for Predator and Apex. But I do watch like a lot of like the pros play, you know, like Shroud and all those guys. Cause I'm pretty into like, not into competitive gaming, but like I'm just kind of a competitive person myself. So I like anything where like you can go up against someone in kind of a competitive setting. So like I'm very big on sports. I play a lot of sports. And so I'm very big on like fighting games too. Like I used to play fighting games a lot. Like kind of try to do that competitively before I realized that was kind of a waste of time, but not really a waste of time. But so yeah, anything where you can kind of be competitive, I'm like kind of for it. I'm like naturally not a competitive person, but if I'm gonna do something, then I wanna do the best of it. Yeah, Evo Online is gonna be weird because it's like, I feel like I should enter Evo Online because probably the only way I'm ever gonna beat someone is with like onlinery tactics, with lag. That's the only way I'm ever gonna beat somebody. So I'm like, this is my chance to place like top 64 or something. Because other than that, like, you know, I'm never gonna beat someone that lives their life for it. But I might get you with that lag though, you know. I might get you with that input delay. You might get got. So I probably should enter it, and hopefully I'll just play someone. I'll just do some laggy, hit him with the lag switch, command grab. So I'm a Laura main, so Lauras tend to thrive online because people can't react to like, you know, can't react to V skills and like all the other kind of BS that she has. But on, you know, in a regular set, you know, in person, obviously that kind of changes dramatically. Sorry, my throat's been kind of sore today. Not sore, but I've been having to talk a lot for whatever reason to people. Ooh, I kind of like that shape. What just happened? Oh no, there we go. Maybe I can, I'll blend it out. Do I have a blender brush? I think I do. Alright, I guess that. Ooh, okay. So sometimes I like to just kind of blend that stuff out. Now the question is, what do I do when I get to like this area right here? I definitely want to... yo, what's up? What's up, Jose Campo? What's up, dude? Thanks for coming through. yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, so normally, like, Twitter's been like a weird thing for me because, like, I've been posting on Twitter for like years, and never have I ever got like likes or retweets or whatever. And not that I care, because I'm just like, well, I mean, you know, if people don't like it, people don't like it, right? You can't make someone like your shit, right? So I've always kind of just posted on it, and then just never really ever tried to kind of connect. I mean, there's some people that I follow, and I just follow them just for their tweets, but other than that, like, I've never really ever kind of used it as a platform. Like, I mostly just post like my fighting games and like random things that I post to Twitter through PS4 share. But ever since this whole kind of drawing while black thing came out, I was just kind of like, well, all right, I guess I'll just share some stuff because, I mean, who knows, you might meet somebody or something, right? And then I think someone like famous like retweeted it or something. Like, I have no clue what's going on, to be honest. And then all of a sudden, that shit just went freaking crazy. And my phone is still vibrating right now. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it's still vibrating. I was telling my wife, I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but like, my phone's vibrating and it won't stop. And I'm like, I think someone famous like shared something, because like all these retweets are happening and I don't know like why it is. And so it's been kind of interesting, because then people are like, dude, this works cool. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. Like, this is kind of the same stuff I've always been doing. So it's just kind of weird, right? Like, an audience. Yeah, right? Sahil, right? Sahil commented, right? He's one of the people that, like, said something, and then all of a sudden, like, it's kind of crazy how social media works like that, right? That, like, maybe one person is, like, down with your shit, and then all of a sudden, you know, your work is kind of not necessarily going viral per se, because I'm not viral, but like it's kind of crazy right now. Like, not that it even matters, because I hate talking about likes or whatever, but like normally when I post something, right, it's like I'll get like 10 likes or something like that. It's like 10 likes and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, someone liked it, someone retweeted it, someone finds it helpful, which I think is probably the most important thing anyway. Someone's like, yo, this was helpful, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then that's it. So now it went from like 10 to like 800, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And so I'm just kind of like chilling, like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, I'm like, is this how Anthony Jones feels? Because it's kind of weird. When people constantly mistake him for me at conventions. So yeah, it's kind of a really weird, surreal experience that I don't want to like. I want to enjoy it because it's very nice. But at the same time, I can see how like why people like love like social media, right? Because it's that click, that like that vibration, or just like someone liking your work can kind of be kind of addicting, right? Because it's kind of like a natural high. I now kind of understand why people want to be like, not want to be famous or like, but just like the idea of just always on their phone, or it's like a natural high of someone just saying something nice about you. Which I'm like, I should just try to do that more often. It's just like say nice things to people, which I mean I already do, but like people should do that more often, because it's just kind of crazy to see how people just kind of just checking in on you and just saying nice things is a generally good feeling. And so I'm kind of realizing like I probably need to check in more on people, you know, like that kind of stuff. And so what Jose's saying, right, he's like, yo, I'd love to buy a pic of the cloud you posted, right? And so that's another thing too, is people were like, yo, like, I want to buy some of your work, how come you don't sell your work? And I'm like, dude, no one's ever asked. Like, I've literally like thought about it a million times, and there's never been like a need or like a space for it, right? Anytime I've ever like thought about it, it's like the optics aren't there. People are kind of like, yeah, like not really. Plus, it's concept art, right? It's not really like illustration, what I do mostly anyway. So then there's that whole situation as well. So there's never been a need. So like I've printed things out one time, I think in last year at Lightbox, and like I didn't sell shit. Like no one really bought it. Like I barely made ends meet. And I was like, well, I guess I'm probably not doing that again, because there's clearly not like a market for it. So I'm like, so prints clearly aren't for me. Tutorials are for me. So there's that, right? So then now people are like, yo, like, let me buy some of your stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, that's kind of weird. So maybe this is the situation where that happens. So, Aurora Blaze. Oh, you bought something from Lightbox? Dude, that's awesome. Because I totally had extras that I had to like take with me. And then the one time where I need them, because I wanted to give it to a friend who I have to mail something to, I don't know where they are. But I had a lot of extras. And so if you did buy something, then that's freaking awesome. Because, yeah. I literally sat there for 3 days being mistaken for Anthony Jones. I just sat there for like hours. And someone's like, yo, are you AJ? And I'm like, no. I'm not AJ. But it's kind of funny, actually, is that we were going to make shirts for Lightbox that says, I'm not Anthony Jones. And we're going to, like, walk around with that because that was happening all the time. So you said, I work at a game company. Yeah, I work at a small mobile game studio called Glue. They're awesome. They work on kind of like touch mobile games, you know? Like kind of, you know, those games where you kind of grind out, like kind of loot boxy kind of games, you know what I'm talking about, like the pay to win kind of stuff. So the game that we're kind of most famous for right now is Tap Sports Baseball, and then the other team that's also there that I'm not on does Disney Sorcerer's Arena. And though that game is kind of like play to win, like I actually really enjoyed that game. I actually tweak on it. I play pretty hard, even though like I work for the company and I'm trying to like get like free stuff and they won't give it to me. I'm like, come on, man, give me some like diamonds or something. And they're like, sorry, dude, can't do it. And I'm like, man, that sucks. Oh, it's Willy. Oh, okay. Dude, what's up, Willy? How are you, dude? It's good to see you, bro. I hope you're safe. So Water's asking the question, do you think about big, medium, small? I usually go big for the most part. That's why I'm pretty like zoomed out. I'm like right here. In my head, I'm like, if I can make it look decent right here, then whatever I paint, right, like will probably be okay. So I'm trying to keep it like in that area of like negative space. So I won't really go, like this brush is probably what size, like 200 right now. I probably won't go below like, so right now if you look at here, you can't see it on my screen because my screen's probably too small, but it's like 20 is like kind of a detail. So like if this were like a brush, this is 35. So 35 is this size. So that's kind of there. And then I usually work around this. That's 100. So that's 100, like that kind of shape. And then anything else that's just like 250 to 200. So 200, you can't even make it, right? Is like that. So that's kind of like how I treat my shapes. That's kind of how I treat it in terms of like big, medium, small. So right now I'm in like this 200 mode right now, where I'm just kind of trying to I'm trying to kind of figure out like the bigger shapes before I go on to like some of the smaller stuff. If you're new to this, actually, usually Tuesdays I do feedback. So Tuesdays tend to be kind of a feedback day. I was doing Thursdays, but life got kind of crazy for whatever reason. I don't know, global pandemic and systemic racism, all that kind of stuff. So I don't do Thursdays anymore. But Tuesday, what I do is if you have like an environment piece that you want to submit, I usually what I'll do is I'll give you a link to my Dropbox, and you can put your work in there. And as long as you're in the chat, I will take a look at it and give you some feedback, and I'll paint over it and all that kind of stuff. Oh, hey Taylor. Sorry, Taylor Reynolds. Hey, nice. Taylor Reynolds is a homegirl from high school, who is super awesome as well and always speaking up and all that kind of good stuff. So thank you for coming through. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Taylor was awesome ballet dancer back in the day, if I remember correctly. Which I do remember correctly. I'm saying I do know that. And it's good to see that you're working through the pandemic. Yeah, pandemic's crazy right now, so a lot of things have been kind of put on hold for the most part. So yeah, so I'm just trying to, so I do some feedback and stuff, and if people come through, then they can possibly have a critique, you know, just like, again, it's just kind of my 2 cents. I don't take it like super seriously or anything like that, but it could possibly help you, like maybe, just depending on what you're looking for. Let's switch this up a little bit. Should I go to a John? Ooh, my favorite. This is one of my favorite brushes right there. It's so juicy right there. Boom. I have no idea where the fucking lighting's coming from, by the way. I'm just like totally painting, just whatever the hell. Nor do I have any sense of color right now. I use like basic color palette. Who knows? But yeah, so I usually stream for like an hour. That's kind of where I'm at. And then, yeah, I just kind of hang out and chill, dude. That's all it is. K04sk, dude, what's going on, dude? Tyler's another homie. Thanks for doing the challenge, right? The pick your favorite movie thing challenge, or your favorite movie stills. I appreciate it. That was, I had no one to pick. So that just gives you an idea of how many like friends I have. Because I didn't have anyone to pick up on, to nominate. I was like, I'm so alone. This needs to be more blue, doesn't it? Let me see here. Is that blue? Oh shit, no. No, okay, let me do this. How much lighter is that? Okay, it's not that much lighter. Okay, so what's in between here and here? Not a lot. So it just needs to be cooler and darker, but like not that dark is the question. So let's try that again. All right, that feels nice. We can rock with that. Matt, what's up, Matt? Oh, so Jose's asking what program? Photoshop. Just straight up Photoshop. Just using the one from the cloud. So I'm not sure which version this is. It's probably the buggy version that I always get for some whatever freaking reason, because it's always buggy because Adobe never fixes their stuff. Shouts to Adobe. Don't kill me, but like it's kind of true. So. But at the same time, I can't necessarily get mad at Adobe because like digital artists are like a super small percentage probably of what actually makes them money. So I can't sit here and act like I'm like this big spender on their products. So probably photography, graphic design, all those things are probably what makes them money. So that's probably where they spend most of their time. I guess that works. I don't know. Oh, dude, thank you, man. Yeah, that was really, really nice to have people. Apparently, like, if shit ever goes, like, really crazy and, like, the KK are at my door, apparently I got friends in, like, a lot of, like, different countries that are like, dude, I'll house you. And I'm like, all right, like, that's cool. I appreciate it. I'm like, hopefully it never comes to that. But if I ever need to, like, flee the United States, which I doubt will ever happen, yeah, I will, I'll keep that in mind. So apparently I got friends like all over the world that are willing to like house me because they think I'm like in a war right now, and I'm like, nah, dude, it's just another day of being a minority. Nothing has really changed, but there is change going on right now, which is actually really cool to see. Minus all of the bad people that kind of F it up, all that the media wants you to see. But to be honest, I live next to a police station. Like literally right across the street from me is a police station. So there was a protest this weekend, and I was like, oh snap! Like, part of me was like, oh shit, like it's about to go down. And I'm like, because I also live in a very live in a very prominent black neighborhood. So I live in Richmond. In Richmond, if you guys don't know, that's where it's a heavily black population, and that's where during World War II, a lot of like African Americans would work in the factories. So this place where I live is like kind of like old school factories where they used to build like all of the tanks and stuff and all the planes and ships that would go to fight. That's where they all did it here. And if you ever seen that movie Coach Carter, it's like one of those like uplifting like basketball black people like coming together through sports movies, you know, kind of cheesy Marvel the Titans movie. It takes place in Richmond, so that's where I live. And so, you know, during that time, black people, it was obviously hard to find work, you know, during those times of the World War. So a lot of people moved here to kind of get work because there's good money and there was opportunities. The people that weren't allowed to fight in the war would help out. Another good thing is the Rosie Riveter. If you know that Rosie Riveter image, the girl with the arm that's like flexing. I'll show you the image I'm talking about. Rosie the Riveter, this lady. Yeah, so that's from Richmond. The We Can Do It. So every year they have a Rosie Riveter thing in our city, and a bunch of old ladies and like women, they all dress like her, like just like that, and they literally have a parade, and it's like pretty cool actually. It's like super like woman empowerment. Yeah, just like that. They all walk around our area and they go to the museum. There's a museum right where I live. And so obviously after the war, the problem was after the war, all of the industry left and then black people were kind of stranded. So that's why there's a huge black population where I live. So when they all came out for the protest, I was for sure thinking like, okay, it might get possibly heated just because of what, you kind of see on social media. But actually it was super calm. Like there are a lot of families out there. They're very calm, very respectful, kind of having their voices heard. And it was actually really, really awesome. What's up, Adam, dude? Strong Bad. Yo, one of the best Street Fighter players that I got to play with at my old work. Best Third Strike player. Is his awesome Ken. Used to definitely give me some troubles, and like super nice guy that because I was so used to playing on a PS2 controller, he like went through like super extra lengths just to get me like a PS2 controller so that we could have like a proper match and he could play me at like my full potential. But it didn't really matter because when you play Ken, all you need is crouching medium punch and that shit's hit, and that shit can hit confirm. So when you're Ken, you don't have to do anything. You just down crouching medium punch, and when it hits, automatic super, bro. So the good old days of playing fighting games with Adam and getting my ass kicked in any kind of platform fighter, because I am not good at platform fighters at all. Yeah. So with the protests going on, it's really, really crazy that we see all this kind of the bad stuff, but I mean there I was just hanging out, and it was totally a good time. People were very respectful, people were cool, a lot of families are out there, and it was really, really nice to see a lot of people. And the area that I live in is kind of the nicer area too. So I thought for sure, since there's a good amount of white people that live in my area, when they saw all the protesting, I was like, shit, they're gonna probably I was thinking half in my head that they were gonna call the cops or try to go against it or get scared because they're just like, what's going on? But a lot of them left their homes where I live and joined the protest, and I was like, oh shit, that's even cooler. So I had no clue what it all means or what's gonna happen after it, but it's something that I have never seen before, I can tell you that much. And so having never seen that, that is definitely a sight to behold. So I was very, very lucky to have witnessed something. I mean, anytime you see anything that you don't normally ever see, it was just really cool to see a lot of minorities. There was a lot of African, Asian people kind of just coming together and just hanging out. That's pretty badass. So it's been kind of a crazy few weeks, crazy 10 days or 12 days, but a lot of people reaching out was super huge, man. I was like, man, people didn't have to, and the fact that they did, and we were like, hey man, I'm here for you and I want to make sure you're good. I was like, bro, that's awesome. So I definitely felt a lot of the love from the art and gaming community. The first person to reach out were literally all of my art friends and all of my gaming friends that were like, yo, anything you need, I got you. And that's cool. Because normally no one ever really talks to me. I'm pretty, again, I play soccer, I go home, hang out with my wife, and I chill. And even better, people were like, yo, like I want to help, or like I want to understand, like what can I do to understand more? And I was like, damn, dude, since when? And so that's cool too. So hopefully it brings more people to have understanding. Like even my wife, like, is kind of crazy in that regard, you know, just because like my wife's Filipino, right? And so she has a different experience, you know, growing up in Hawaii, like kind of the black experience, you know what I mean? And so I told her things that have happened to me in the past, and obviously she's kind of like, yeah, that sucks and whatever, and always empathetic. But then with all this stuff going on, she's like, what? Like, I never heard of this, I never heard of that. And I'm like, oh, you never heard of Tulsa riots? Or oh, you never heard of like what Malcolm X was really about? Or like, oh, she doesn't really know, you know, they don't teach that stuff in history books. So it's kind of like she kind of had to, like, she really took it upon herself to want to educate herself and be like, yo, I want to actually learn something. And so now she's like, I feel like now she's probably more woke than me. It's kind of crazy. Because she's obviously smarter than me. So she's just like, dude, you know this stuff? You know this stuff? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, what the fuck? And so, so it's just cool that she's kind of like, damn, like I never knew that stuff that, like, you know, that happened to people. And I was like, yeah, you know. So, not that she needed any more empathy, because she totally has empathy like all the time. But it's just cool. It's just cool to see people just want to like learn and not kind of just brush it under the rug for the first time. And so that part I think is like pretty fucking cool to see firsthand. So obviously I'm just hoping people are just safe, and you know, with COVID out and stuff like that too. I just hope people are really, really safe, and you know, no one gets hurt. I have no idea what I want to do with this whole piece right here. Okay, but we can start maybe painting in like some actual clouds. What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay, here we go. Sorry. And my phone is still like going crazy, so which is really cool. So if you came in from Twitter, if you want to keep sharing it, please share it some more. I mean, I don't think I've ever had 50 people like ever in my chat. It's kind of crazy. I think like I got 6 and I was like, dope, I'm tight. Move over, Anthony Jones. Yeah, right. But you know, so yeah, if you're sharing, like, appreciate it. Not that I necessarily need more attention or anything, because there are probably more people that are probably better than me that need attention. But it's also nice if people are finding things helpful, I guess, is probably the biggest thing. Alright, I think I can probably maybe start zooming in or something here. Or I could probably start maybe breaking this stuff down, which now it's time for color dynamics, because that's all you need. Not that much. It's too much. Too much. Let's see here. What am I drawing, dude? I have no clue. I was just like, I'm just gonna start drawing, because like it seems like a good wave of people were kind of like saying nice things. So I was kind of like, all right, maybe I should. I mean, I was gonna stream anyway because it's Tuesday, and I don't normally stream, but I was like, I should definitely try to just use the platform, I guess, to kind of keep going a little bit. So I want to draw like a ship or something on the top here. I'm not really sure, but right now I'm just trying to get the colors like where I want it to be first, and then you know, and there you go. Sub button. What does that mean? You mean to subscribe? Your use of shapes is amazing. Oh, thanks, Jess. I really appreciate it. I don't know what that means. What is sub button? Subscribe? I mean, isn't that on? Don't you have that on the Twitch, right? It's a Twitch thing, right? Like you just sub. Or am I just freaking super outdated right now? Did I just age myself by not knowing what that meant? Because I think you can just subscribe to the channel, right? And then that will let you know if whenever I am streaming. People can subscribe and give you money if you have enough viewers on the regular. Oh, nah, you don't need to do that. That's not needed. Like, don't need the money. This is more so just to kind of like connect and try to maybe give people helpful content, as I would say, like educational content. I'm kind of a advocator for education, so yeah, you don't need to give me money for sure. Like, if you gave it to me, I would just donate it, because like yeah, like I get enough, like I don't know what's the word, enough value from my Gumroads, people that buy my Gumroads, so I wouldn't need another avenue of making money. So yeah, if anything, use that for someone else and support their stuff. But that's a problem that I have to get a bunch of followers first to even kind of consider like changing my mind on that subject. Because if I got like 1 million followers, I'd be like, all right, maybe you can pay me like $1, but I have to get there first. And normally, in my mind, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm very much a proponent of like, don't care about the money kind of thing. Just worry about content, and then like usually money will come. That's kind of always been my philosophy on things. In terms of like how I've got to where I am, is like I never really cared about kind of titles or the money aspect of stuff. Like, obviously make enough that I can survive, but I never really cared about followers or whatever. That's why like my following on Twitter is like still like 1,000, because I don't really push it. I'm just kind of like, well, let me just do good work, or at least try to do work that I enjoy, and then eventually if someone finds it or wants to retweet it, then, you know, I don't feel like I have to change who I am, I guess, to like keep my fans, I guess, if I ever get that. I guess probably the way I'm looking at it is like, if you kind of just do what you want or do what you're into, then eventually if you ever do get famous or ever do get you know, offered work, then you know, it's that much more easier, right? Just because then you're getting paid to be yourself, and that's always like very, very nice, as opposed to getting paid to do something that you think someone likes, and that's not always fun. Like, ever since then, like, someone hit me up and was like, hey, I need some cloud drawings, and I was like, what? And they're like, do you do like freelance cloud drawings? And I'm not sure if I can even do that, right? Because I'm kind of busy with work, but like, that's awesome, right? Because then it's like, dude, I can get paid to draw clouds. Like, boy, like, my guy, I draw clouds all day. Like, I will draw the shit out of clouds. I'll paint the fuck out of clouds. So then it's like, cool. Like, then you're getting paid to do something that like you really, really like, which is really, really nice. So that's kind of the reason why I don't necessarily get too much into that kind of stuff. At least in the beginning. It's kind of like, just do good work, man. You do good work and you really enjoy it, then eventually someone will find you, I guess, in per se. And that's kind of seems what's happening right now with like all the retweets that are going on. It's like a lot of that work that I've been posting is like literally like 3 or 4 years old. And a lot of my stuff's under NDA right now, but it's like that stuff's been there for a while, just that, you know, there wasn't a platform to share it. So I'm like, all right, it's cool. So, yo, what's up, Paul? Yo, dude, hopefully you're freaking safe, bro, because you're like EMT life, dude. So shout outs to Paul giving me some love in the chat. Shout outs to our EMT and our freaking medical workers, like killing it right now during COVID and shit, dude. So that's no joke. So if I can give you some time to give you a rest, bro, like, that's what's up. Because I know that shit's like not easy. So I really hope you're safe, dude. And I really need to hang up your painting in my office, and it's on my shelf. And because when it came, it was kind of rolled, so it's been like flattening out for like months on a book, so that it doesn't like roll up. And I need to like frame it now, and it's upstairs. I need to get that. So Onion Jr., what's up, Onion? Kalen, any tips for someone about to graduate from a classical atelier is looking at career options in the entertainment industry? I mean, it doesn't really matter whether you're self-taught or like whether you're you know, traditional, or I mean, obviously you have to be digital because that's, you know, kind of requirement. But it doesn't really matter whether you come from an atelier or like online or through a mentorship or whatever. Just do good work. Just do good work and post it where someone can find it. You know what I mean? That's literally all you can really do.
And whatever you're into, find a company that does that. You know what I mean? Like, so like that would make it a little bit easier for you to kind of like fit in. So like a good example of that is like, I recently was able to work on Apex Legends cinematic. And so like that was really easy for me just because of the fact that I really like Apex, right? So like I play that game all the time. So of course when I got asked to do like one painting for them, I was like, dude, hell yeah. Like that's easy. Like it's easy for me to do that because it's like I'm already in that kind of that space, right? And like when I'm sitting in the meeting, they're like, hey man, like you know this part in the game? Like I'm like, dude, I land there all the time, bro. Like so it's very, very easy when you like something. So obviously like if money is like an issue, then you may have to kind of broaden your scope of skills so that you're more hireable. And so that may mean that you have to do things that you don't want to do. So that was kind of me in the beginning, right? I was doing like UI, a little bit of like things that I wasn't really into, but it's because like if I really wanted to like work, I had to kind of know how to do these things. And so that will happen too. Like you'll have to kind of, you know, put your pride aside and do some things that you're not necessarily into, but that's just kind of part of life. But I would say do what you're into. So for me, it's like I like doing like environments and like crazy like nature-esque environments, like Bob Ross shit, right? So of course, like my current job right now, that's what I do. And so now like work is fun because I don't have to really worry about it. So whatever you're into, see if you can find a place that does that for you, that's already doing that, because then it's that much easier to kind of come into work, because like you don't have to then like have to again, back to that thing of changing who you are, right? Where let's say you're trying to like change your artwork so that's more appealing to a company. You'll have to do that sometimes in the very beginning because obviously you're trying to get started, but then like eventually you want to be in a place where you choose what you want to do. And so I'm lucky enough now where I'm in a place where like if I don't like a project for freelance, then I just won't take it, right? Because it's like I don't need the money per se. Like I just want to work with cool people. So find that company or find that product that you want to do and then go from there. Another thing I can tell you too is like just know that success is different for everybody. Like everyone measures success in a different way. So like for some people it could be like I want to work for a AAA company. For some people it could be I want to write my own book. For some people it could be like I want to write my own short or make my own short. For some people it's like I want to like teach at like one of the best, like I want to demo at like one of the best workshops in the world. Find out what that is for you, because the last thing you want to do is kind of climb the ladder of success and then realize like it's up against the wrong wall. You know what I mean? Like you're not like, that's one of the worst things you can do is feel like you're grinding and then you climb that ladder and you get on the top and you're like, shit, wrong building, right? And so everyone has happiness for themselves. Like Paul is a good example of that. Paul is in my Facebook chat right now, and Paul is like an EMT and he went to art school, and then he decided like, you know what, I don't want to do like that grind of like trying to like job to job, right? All that kind of shit. He's like, F that, dude. I'm just gonna like do what I want to do. So he became an EMT, and now he does art on the side, and he's like happy, you know? And there's like totally no shame in that. Meanwhile, there's some people that are like just kind of running the rat race because they think it's cool, but then like they're unhappy because they're just like, you know, they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it because someone thinks that's what they want. Someone tells them that's what they should be doing. So like happiness is totally, all right. So Paul just commented 24-hour. He's a paramedic man. He loves his life. And now he does art on the side and he's found a new love for it, you know? So for Paul, it was like making art his like job. Like he didn't enjoy it. Like he kind of lost the love for it. So that's why it's like important to realize that success is different for a lot of people. And so don't judge people, you know, for that. That's why I don't really care about how many followers someone has. Like if you follow me on any of like my platforms, I never post like what project I'm working on. People always do that, and it's kind of weird to me that it's like, hey, I'm an artist at so and so, and these are all my credits. And it's like, I don't really care about that shit, to be honest. Like if you're cool, you're cool. Like if you do good art, you do good art. Like who you work for shouldn't determine whether or not I'm gonna follow you. It should just be like, do you do good work and are you not an asshole? You know what I mean? And so some people view like, oh, if I don't have these followers or if I don't have like these credits underneath my thing, then I'm not worth anything. And that's probably like the worst mentality you could ever have for that kind of stuff, you know? Is always thinking like, oh, their road to success, if I don't have that for myself, then I'm a failure. So just find what's important to you and do that. Because I've had opportunities to work at bigger companies and stuff like that, but honestly, that isn't necessarily my version of happiness. Like, my version of happiness is working on a chill game, having time to spend with my wife and my dog, like playing soccer a lot, and like playing some video games with my homies, right? Like, family is a really big thing to me. And so if there are opportunities that are good but take away from that, then to me that isn't success, right? Like, it's not worth working on a really big project if then in turn that like kind of gets in the way of those kind of things. So just find out what success means to you, and just know that whatever success you think it is, it will probably change over time. You know, once you have kids, once you get married, what you think is important to you will definitely kind of change over time. So good question, and I hope that helps you out. I should probably put some light on this thing, or some color. I don't even know, or some more cooler colors. I think. Yeah, there we go. Whoops. So yeah, appreciate people rolling through. Dude, how am I gonna do this? Okay. It needs to be more blue because on the bottom, but it needs to be more atmosphere because on the top. So what the hell am I doing? Sorry, I'm thinking right now and my brain is kind of going crazy. Okay, there we go. That solves the problem. Done. Did I have clouds in the front of it? I think I did. Did I? So my neighbor's messaging me. What's going on? What happened? I'm dying to play Rec League Soccer and rip up some pretty boy strikers. Yeah, there you go, dude. Sorry, my neighbor. So I'm a huge soccer fan, right? And so my neighbor and I became friends because I don't have my camera on, do I? I don't know if I can even turn my camera on. I don't even know how that even works. Monitor video capture. Does that work? I don't think it works. Configure video. Does it work? Oh shit, it does work. Nice. Oh snap. I guess you guys can see me now. I didn't know how to turn this on. Sorry, there you go. Sorry, so I'm a big Arsenal fan. And my neighbor is a big Arsenal fan too. So I have like my little Arsenal gunner. So he always sees me wearing like Arsenal shit, right? And so then he's like, yo, you Gunner fan? And I'm like, hell yeah, I am. And he's like, dude, so am I. Let's be friends. So we talk soccer all the time. And he's my neighbor across the street. Happens to be a personal trainer that I'm kind of like, after all this shit's done, I'm like, yo, you need to like train me so I can get like AJ swole. So, let's see. So Aurora Blaze is asking a question right now. I think it's Photoshop related. Willy, is there a specific checkbox option in CC to use to enable the brush rotation for the art pen? I got the art pen and the brush rotation only seems to work with certain default brushes. So yeah, so if you want that to happen, you have to go to just shape dynamics, go to angle jitter, and there's a little thing called rotation. It's like right there. You know what, let's just screen cap it actually, so we can zoom like super in on that shit. So that way there's no, not misconstruing it. So let's just, sorry, I'm screen capping it. Okay, so what you need is that guy right there, rotation. So you have to be on shape dynamics. So that's the first the first thing that you need to be on. And then you have to go all the way down to the angle jitter. It's right below angle jitter. And the control has to be on rotation. Now, I will say that sometimes Wacom, because they're kind of freaking weird, it sometimes will mess. Things that will mess with this will be Wacom updates, which are the worst. Shoutouts to Wacom. I still love you guys, though. Wacom updates is the number one thing that will kind of fuck with it. And then 2 is Adobe. So the 2 very things needed to make that work will probably the things that will fuck with it. And the only way that I know that you can fix it is by restarting. Is by restarting a computer. Like, we'll write fix. Restart your computer. So there's that one. And then restart the services. So if you don't know that, I'll walk you through that real quick. Services, restart. So when you go to your computer, let's see here. I'm gonna move this over. Sorry. Let's go to. So if you go to this PC. So on mine, you go to this PC. If you right click and go to manage, this will show up. And this is like your computer management. And what you want to do is, if for some reason it's not possibly working, you can go to service and applications and then go to services. So I'll go back to that. Is just type in computer management if you want to in the bottom window, and it should show up. But then go to service and applications and then services. And if you scroll all the way down to Wacom, you'll find Wacom services. It's like right there, personal service. Once you click on it, you can stop or restart it. I just restart it. And usually what that does is it literally shuts like the program down and then like restarts it. It kind of like revamps it. And usually that can possibly fix it. The other thing you can do is just go to like your eraser tool and then switch back to your brush tool, and that fixes it too. So those are the only things that I know. Like, I don't really have like I don't know like a clear-cut way. It's like, it's kind of like with Nintendo, right? Back in the day, you just blow on it and everyone had their own like ritual on how to make their game fucking work. It's the same thing, right? You blow on it, like rub it a couple times, spin around, then all of a sudden push it in, the game works. It's kind of like that. So those are the ones that I usually do. Is I just restart my whole computer. So restart the whole computer or Photoshop, or services is the thing. So there you go. He fixed it. Nice. All right, back to painting. See? Listen, Uncle Kalen. Uncle Kalen's got you. Got you. All right, cool. Where was I at? All right, cool. I mean, I guess I could go for a little bit longer. I don't know. As long as people are kind of here, I guess. Maybe. Should I do a quick feedback then? Maybe we could do a quick feedback. I can put a link in there if someone has like an environment they want looked at. It might be the time, since we kind of have way more people in here than normal. Wait, did I just get rid of something? What just happened? Did I get rid of the front? Oh, I put it on the. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I put it on the same layer. Oh, I'm a noob. I gotta repaint that shit. And I forgot what it looked like. Oh, I'm a noob. Or did I? No, I did. Or no. Is it? No. Okay, so it is there. So what's going on? Where? Oh, never mind. I'm good. It was on 0%. Dude, I was freaking out for a second. I thought I lost my shapes. What's up, Jose? What's going on, bro? Shoutouts to all the Jose's coming through, showing love. Okay. So maybe I will do that. If there's someone in that wants something looked at, we can do that, and we'll walk you through. I'll walk you through kind of how I can do that in a day. Yo, so come on, fix that. Cool. It's a little bit. Is it dark in here? I don't know. Maybe I gotta push this. I don't know if my camera. I need to like up my camera situation, dude. To be honest, I'm thinking about getting like a new camera or something. if I'm gonna be like doing more stuff, but I guess one thing at a time, right? Look with me, I get 20 new followers and I'm like, I should get a camera. That's so stupid. But maybe, you never know. Okay, so let's paint some light onto these actually. Ooh, I like that actually. That looks nice. Looks nice. Ooh, a little softy. I like the little soft stuff, man. I'm a sucker for it. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll link a layer to this, and then I'll paint shadows underneath it. So like now it kind of has a drop shadow. Ooh shit. Ooh yeah. Drop shadows all day. All of a sudden it makes it feel like it's in front of it. I don't know how big it's gonna go. That probably needs to be more blue though. Let's just be honest here. There you go. And probably lighter because it's pretty far away. So we'll do that maybe. I don't know. Okay, there you go. A little warmth in there. Hey. Well, maybe the lining is kind of like straight down, like straight on it. I didn't plan this out. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, I can do the soft shadow thing where it's like softer. Ooh, yep. It's time. Let me get that little softy. A little softy McSofterson. Get that in there. There we go. Alright, I clearly need like another big shape in the middle, so that way it like really helps with that. But it can't be. There you go. If I have that light come up too high, then it's like it's not going to make any sense. So there's that. Oh, that's soft. I like that. That's softy. It's definitely a softy. Okay, cool. All right, now we're in business. If I was light and it was coming from that side, sure. And the question is, do I then add more of that same value, but like a little bit lighter? You know what I mean? So I'm starting to kind of see some shapes here, and I don't really know like what I want to do with it. Well, that kind of worked out, but not really. I mean, maybe I will soften that edge up just a tad. Alright, I gotta like zoom in more. I feel like I'm not zooming in enough. I get really scared to zoom in. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm one of those people that if I zoom in, then like I'm gonna go hard with it, and probably to my detriment. Actually, no, I shouldn't make that an angle because everything else has been super tight this far. Alright, I kind of mess with that. Yo, what's up, long arm? What's good, man? What's good, homie? Painting clouds, bro. Painting some clouds. I mean, I'm kind of just hanging out right now. Like, it's been kind of like, so to catch you up, like, some shit that I posted kind of went viral on Twitter. So I have a bunch of, like, a lot of new people kind of hanging out right now. So normally I'd be done, but I technically don't have to be anywhere until 10 because I'll be watching the show with my wife. So I'm kind of like, there's a good wave of momentum right now. So I'm kind of like, let's let it ride, you know? So if you have some work you want critiqued or whatever, or if anyone does, then you just gotta write in the chat and I will give you a link of where you can post it, and then we'll take a look at it. So if you needed my time more than ever, this is probably it, because I doubt I'll be doing more than an hour ever again, because there's a lot of Apex that needs to be played in this world. And I need to get back into fighting games. Yo, it's not looking half bad though. Like, no cap. The question is, do I then... Yeah, dude, sometimes you gotta ride till the wheels fall off, you feel me? Like, that's kind of... that's my zone right now. So I'm trying to keep that going. And of course, there's a lot of fireworks happening recently in my area, and it's like annoying because it's not July yet. And I'm like, come on, bruh. So, you know how it goes. And everyone thinks it's always a gunshot, and I'm like, I don't think you know what gunshots sound like then, dude. Ooh, I like that. I like this right here. Because it kind of pushes it back. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah, man. I'm gonna keep riding, bro. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I hope you're safe. I'm actually excited. I have some like private soccer training going on tomorrow. I'm gonna meet up with the guy at a field to do some kind of one-on-one soccer training because I haven't done that in a minute. But you know, I made sure it was, you know, social distance friendly, all that kind of stuff. All the drills are gonna be with distance, whatever. So I'm not touching nobody. Should be a good time to get a decent workout in. Because I know that second wave might be hitting. I may not have that opportunity, so. Let me go out now while I still can. But they're kind of opening stuff up anyway, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Okay, now this one right here, I think this is time, right there, right in that area, for the juice. And the juice, all that is a warm tone. Right around there. That's the juice, right there. A little bit of some juicy action. If I can sculpt this out correctly. Not bad. Right there. A little bit of juice. And then what I can do is I can then kind of have said juice go down in temperature. So, alright, a little juicy juice. Right there, full bam, right? And then I kind of have that just go out. Oh shit, is that Alex that just posted on my thing? Mr. Alex Yip. Best halfback I know. Hanging out. What's up, Alex? Alex is a homie that I play soccer with. Back when all this crazy shit used to happen, I used to organize weekly soccer through all the companies around my work, and Alex was one of our people that frequents, and he's a homie. Shout outs to Honduras. Alex is dope because the first time I ever met him, like he told me he's from Honduras, and so because Alex is like Asian, right? All the people that play soccer with us, a lot of them are Latino, and so when Alex starts speaking like fluent Spanish to them, they're like, "What the fuck?" And like, they're like, "You're from Honduras," and they're like, "What?" And then he's just like talking to them, and it's like I always find that hilarious when people don't know that Alex is like fluent in Spanish, and people just like, "What?" And he's a baller at soccer too, so I miss him. I miss Andy, all my homies. Hopefully, we'll get back to soccer sometime this year, and get back to it, dude. That's the goal. Until then, it's gonna keep drawing. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, Alex. Yeah, I'll be doing some like private one-on-one with Yvonne. You know the brothers, Yvonne and Seba, the two brothers that play soccer with us at the thing. Yvonne's like a regional coach. I forgot. He coaches like a lot of like up and coming pros, and he offered to do like a private session. So next time you should come through. We should all do one. I think all you gotta do is just pay him a little bit and like call it a day. So, and all you gotta do is go out to a park where there's enough space, and then we can all do our thing. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm trying to come back to the pandemic with some new skills, bro. Like when we start playing soccer again, like best believe I'm gonna have some new shit for a lot of people, some new tech that all y'all didn't see coming. So this is the time to not get got. I'll hit you up. It's gonna be in Redwood City. I'm doing one tomorrow, but we're full. But I'll hit you up. We're probably gonna do one next week. I'll hit you up next week with the spot. For sure. Will you Onion? Will you stream Third Strike? I gotta play against Adam. That's my Third Strike guy. Actually, Adam or Lee. So Lee was this guy that I went to art school with. That when we were in our Third Strike days, we would go at it. He played Ibuki, I played Makoto, and you would hear the sound in the background, and you would hear like you would hear someone getting grabbed. You'd hear me parrying like kunais. It sounded like a battle, and my friend Teddy would be like, "Dude, I can just hear it, and I can just hear all these parries and all these combos and like all these things." You're like, "Dude, it sounds like a freaking war in there." Me and him used to go at it super heavy back in the day, and that used to be like one of my favorite people to play against because it was a fun meta. So maybe I will. Maybe I will do some Third Strike at some point in time. But I need to get like a PS2 controller, because that's what I actually use. I never use a stick. I actually learned how to like Kara Kara cancel on a freaking controller. Like that's how like dumb I am for like not ever learning to actually use a stick. So like using like a regular pad, like I can't. Like I got so used to doing it with Makoto that I was just like, dude, like I'll just do it on this and be done. So I was one of those weirdos that learned on that one. Arslan, dude, thanks, bro. It's really much appreciated, man. I really appreciate that. The kind words, bro. So yeah, man. Hold on a second. I'm typing real quick. But yeah, the one game I was playing a bit more actually was Overwatch, dude. That was the game that like I was playing like heavy with it, and then I kind of just got away from it. Like my Sombra was pretty good for anyone that knew me in Overwatch. I had a pretty decent Sombra. And actually, if you look at my screen, there's actually like Sombra art from Omar Dagan. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but like he's awesome. And it's like right there. You can't see it actually, but Omar Dugan, he does like it's like part of like the Udon crew. So I have like original lore fan art from him and like Mei. So I used to play Mei and whatever. And so Mei and Sombra were like my mains, and Yeah, so I have like original Laura fan art. Actually, I can bring the book. So yeah, already gone. Drew the Sombra on the back for me, and then he gave me one of his original sketchbooks, which then has Laura on the front, because I was a big Laura main. So that was kind of cool. I have a bunch of like Laura, Sombra, May fan art. I'm kind of weird like that. So yeah, so my Sombra was pretty high ranked in pubs, like in terms of like KD. Like I was killing it for a while. So, but then I stopped playing for whatever reason. I just kind of got over it and I stopped playing. And then I recently got back into it, like all these new characters, and I'm like, I guess I should just try it out. But I guess Apex has been kind of like my new thing right now. So I just got my first 20 bomb in Apex, so that was kind of a fun thing for me. And so I've been trying to kind of ride that wave. Favorite food? Well, that's a good question. Kind of whatever, like, whatever my wife cooks, man. So, you know, I love Filipino food, to be honest. Like, whatever she cooks Filipino food, like, I'm all about that. So my favorite probably is Loco Moco, and that's like a Hawaii dish. It's like a patty with egg and gravy, because my father, or I'm part Pacific Islander, like part Hawaiian, so I like Hawaiian food. So I'm really big on Loco Moco. It's one of my things. Thought you'd be a hand soap man. No, I'm definitely a Sombra main, dude. If you have abilities that you don't want to get hacked, like I will hack that shit. Yeah, I'm a big dude. I'll have to find some clips, because I've definitely clapped some fools in my time with Sombra, but I'll have to get back into it, because everything's a little bit different in terms of like I have to know like a lot of characters' abilities that I don't know. Like I just kind of recently kind of came across Ashe, right? And so she kind of has like a lot of kind of anti-Sombra stuff that like I have to then figure out. Because I was all about like trying to figure out like how to fight people that say like, oh, you can't fight that person or whatever. I'm the person that's like, nah, like you can. You just got to figure it out. So I was a Sombra specialist. I didn't play really anybody else. I played Mei in the beginning just because of the fact that she was Asian and she was a scientist, and because my wife's a scientist, then I was like, okay, like I want to play her. But then then I found Sombra and I was like, yep, this is my girl for sure. I think I stopped playing because this was back in the day. So now Sombra's kit is like way more like user friendly. Before, her kit was, if you threw her translocator down, it had like 13 seconds before it like disappeared. And then so you had to like go into a fight, but then you also had to like know how much time you had on your translocator, because if you didn't use it right before that happens, right, it just goes away, and then you have to wait like 4 seconds. That could be the death of you. So you always had to kind of like wait, throw it down, and then what sucked is when like you would engage a fight and try to pick somebody off, and let's say you get the kill, and now you want to stay in their back line. Because of the fact that you had the translocator, the timer on it, you had to go back. You couldn't cancel it. So then once they made the invisible thing like forever, because before it was like only a certain amount of time, which means that like you had to use up the right time to kind of get behind teams. Like her kit is way more like user friendly, so that's kind of nice. So I was using her back like season 2 when like her kit was terrible and like you really had to like really think about it. So I liked her because she was like a high intelligence player in terms of like how you had to use her. I used to watch like Cody Niku and like Fitz, all those guys back in the day. That's who like I got all my tech from. So I just kind of did what they did whenever I watched. And then I got really good with her, but then changed her kit and then started introducing all these new characters, and I just couldn't keep up. And then I kind of just stopped playing a little bit. But I'm definitely, I recently played it and I was like pretty hyped. Like I was like, man, I miss it. Like I miss like hacking like a Tracer or like a Reinhardt or like EMP, like pushing EMPs, and I'm like, dude, this is like so much fun. I have to then kind of now find like my old crew again and see like if I can roll with them. But Apex has been kind of like my thing right now, because I do like Call of Duty. I am a very big like first person shooter kind of guy. It's just that that one requires less people. You know, you can solo queue and stuff like that, and you can still kind of clap people. Oh, the juicy worm. Yeah. Now the question is, I don't know if I want that to be super high, so maybe we don't do that. Yeah, maybe we just make that like super light. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Why not? I'm cool with that. Why not? Why not? I should put some birds. I should put some more. You know, you gotta have the castle there, of course. Maybe the castle has some greenery. Ooh, that'd be cool. I doubt anything would ever grow up there, but you never know. That's like way too muddy for my liking, so I gotta fix that. So I will fix it. What up, Jaden? What's going on, bro? Yo, you saving up all the yaois for me, dog? Make sure you protect the yaois during all the protests. That's all I care about, bro. Need some more yaois. Which, for those of you guys who are not sure, that yaois are like a candy that apparently is popular in Australia, and my wife is like freaking obsessed with them. And yeah, weird whole long story about how that happened. But shout out to all my Australian homies that helped me out with the yaoi game. Because that is super important. Oh, for real? They had him in New Zealand? That's tight. Yeah, dude, like, it was like really weird one day, and my wife was just like, dude, I gotta go to like the container store. I'm like, wow, because they have yaois, I need to like get more yaois. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, like Pokemon shit? Like, she was like, yo, I need these yaois. And then one day my homie from Australia was like, dude, I can send you some. And I was like, oh, word? And then he sent me like a bunch, like old school, like generation, like Gen 1 like yaois and stuff like that. And then apparently my wife at work was like the shit, because she was like, she had all these like super nice ones. Wars, I thought you said yaoi as in boy on boy Japanese porn. No, that is not what I'm talking about at all. It's this thing right here. So maybe it's pronounced the same. Yaois. Yaoi chocolate. There you go. So these little toys, and they're chocolates. And in the toys, in the chocolates, apparently you get this shit, right? It's like, it's literally this. My wife collects this stuff. It's crazy. When it comes in chocolate, usually the chocolate's all old and stuff, but you get these toys. And that's what it... Kinder eggs. Yes, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Kinder eggs, yeah. Anyways, this is not my cup of tea, but my wife is like really into this, to the point where like her and like her bosses and everything, they're like straight up negotiating like work. Like, hey, will you do this for me? And they're like, yo, if you give me one of them yaois, dude, like I'll do this for you. And I'm like, what is going on? So then my homie Jaden like literally like went and got a bunch and sent me this big ass bag of like yaois and whatever. And dude, like I was like the coolest husband for like the longest time, dude. My wife was super happy. She's like, oh my god, you're the best, like all this shit. Like literally, like I could do no wrong in her eyes for at least like a week because of these like Pokemon looking things, dude, that I did not know existed. So shouts to all my Australian homies in the Kinder Egg community. I don't want to say apparently yaoi, because apparently people are gonna think that I'm into what was it, boy on boy Japanese porn. Which if you are, no judgment from me, dude. It's 2020. It's a pandemic, bro. Life's too short. So if you're into that, bro, live your life. That's all I gotta say. So no judgment here. But yeah, shout out to my homies, my Australian homies. Hopefully you guys are doing doing well. And yay, all ain't in no fires or whatever, dude. It's rough out there. Alright, not bad. Alright, I want to put either like a tree or like a little thing. You know, something's got to be up there. Otherwise, like, what's the point of having all these like shapes going up there? You know what I mean? But I'm not going to lie. I really didn't think this through at all. I had no sketch kind of like prior to this. So, yeah. If you want, I can even show you guys some of like the things that I posted recently. I can kind of walk you through some like 3D stuff. Like I can always do that too. 'Cause I'm kind of like at my wit's end on this one. Like this could be, so that should be brighter, I think, if anything. So that, and this guy could just be brighter all the way across. So if you guys want to see kind of a walkthrough with some of my recent like PSDs, then I can do that too, since I'm kind of just like hanging out right now, because I can show you guys some of that shit, which I'm kind of learning a lot with like my Blender renders. Good question. Do you game on this channel? Yes, I do. Fun story, as when you do something on stream OBS, like this is my stream thing right here. Normally I didn't set this up. This whole really nice like thing that I have. This isn't me. This is my homie Michael. Brainchild TV did this for me. And so normally when I start a stream, it puts it in the art channel and it's fine or whatever. But I also have my PS4 connected to my Twitch stream as well. And so apparently what I didn't know is that if I were to play a game on Twitch, it doesn't, like when you play a game on Twitch on the PS4, it automatically detects what you're playing, and then when you stream, it just says, hey, Kalen is playing this game. Apparently it doesn't do that for my art stream. I have to literally manually switch it back. So there was a time where I had played Apex the night before, and then when I was streaming, it said I was on Apex, and I was like, so then someone came into my chat and was like, this isn't Apex. I was like, what? Like, who told you it was? He's like, dude, it says Apex on your stream. And I was like, oh shit, my bad. But then it was funny because he was like, well, what is this? Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, this is Blender. And he's like, well, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's a 3D program, and this is what I'm doing in it. And he ended up actually staying and hanging out. And it was kind of funny for him to kind of like, he thought he was spawning like an Apex channel. And he thought he was seeing like some like behind the scenes Apex, but it wasn't. It was just like me painting. So that was kind of funny in itself. Yeah, I can show you like a little bit of the Blender thing that I was doing, and then I'll walk you through the image actually, because that's actually might be kind of cool for people to want to see here. Let's see here. I'll just go to my port and go to tabletop. So we'll open up this guy real quick. So this was the render that I did, and this was all in like in Blender and a lot of paint over. So this is kind of like a typical thing that I did that I kind of liked how it came out. So like if I were to erase everything, this is kind of the actually there you go. So that's the render that I got, right? And so I went from that to that, you know. So like obviously like a lot of like color discolor, like a lot of color and treatment stuff like that, but yeah. So water shallow is asking, is there where you learn Blender from, or you just experiment with it? Okay, so cool thing, you can follow Ricardo. So a couple of things I did. So I ended up taking Vong Ling's class, by the way. Von Ling I'm sorry, Vaughn. He's not gonna watch this shit. He don't care. But anyways, I took his heavy poly class, and if you type in heavypoly.com, he has a class. That's where I took most of the things. But that class is expensive, and if you don't have like a lot of things, a good guy is Ricardo Gumares. I'm sorry, Ricardo. I'm really bad at saying your last name, and I apologize because I'm who I am as a person. He has some really good tutorials, and I just have to find it really quickly, his link, and I will post it because he has some good shit. Dude, Ricardo, put your link on your thing, bro. What are you doing? Okay, here you go. Yes. All right, cool.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back.
This guy. So, is that him? No, that's not him. That's not him. Sorry. Where? There we go. There we go. Found it.
Hello, everyone.
BizDev Picks. So I'll post this in the chat, and he has a lot of cool Blender stuff that's like really good. Like if you're trying to like be like a beginner, so I would check that out. That's where I would go if you're looking for some good Blender content. Okay. So anyways, yeah. So I started there, and then obviously I have like an ambient occlusion render, all this kind of stuff. And pretty much all I did was kind of just paint over it little by little. And so the cool thing about Blender is that you can get a cloud pass. So that's why as I'm painting, right, I can easily make a selection, and it's like really, really easy to get. So I know that I'm never painting over something that I don't want to paint over. So that's why it's really, really nice to have this. Because once you turn it off, right, I have a super clean selection, and I don't have to worry about painting over pixels, right? So now when I'm painting, I can go through the entire form of it and never have to worry about like, you know, messing up per se, if that makes sense, right? Like when I'm painting, let's say I have like a bright green color, I no longer have to freaking worry about, you know, going over something, you know, as I'm painting. So that's why like I love 3D in that aspect, is that you can create layers for things and you don't have to necessarily worry about it. So, you know, right here, I'm just kind of adding in a little bit of color, like this kind of stuff. So adding a little bit of color, so where kind of color harmony comes in right here, right? You can kind of see how I'm breaking that down. And then, you know, like it's heavy, right? This part right here is all shape language. Like at that point, like either like you're kind of good at it or you're not. But I mean, that just takes practice, honestly, to kind of get that that shape language down, in my opinion. Like it just takes time, yeah. So yeah, so I was just doing that, and then I just kind of kept painting until I got something that I liked, and it was it came out rather nicely. Like that was kind of a really nice render that I got kind of lucky on, to be honest, because I'm really unsure about my process yet with using Blender. So a lot of like interesting things, but like one thing I always do though is I'm very, very big on layers, like separating things, so that way I can kind of render it out and change it as need be. And so then obviously I have like a little bit of a mist, a little bit of an ambient occlusion from the actual render, a little bit of a mist, right? All this kind of stuff, and it kind of just adds up, right? Adding a little bit of curve to get some nice lighting, all that kind of stuff, noise, and then you sign it, and that's kind of like a nice little render right there. The actual render of it is a little bit less impressive, but I know if you're into that kind of stuff, I can kind of show it off a little bit. I was gonna make like a video about it, but I just haven't had the time. And am I in Workbench? No, I'm in Eevee. Okay, so this is where having a good computer probably helps out a lot. Just because of the fact that this thing is like super, super heavy, and I'm like doing this like a live on Twitch and like 3 different platforms and all at the same time. So like if your computer isn't like strong, then very, very easy for it to kind of just like chug, which it's kind of doing right now. I think it's gathering information right now, and it's like trying to figure out what's going on. So there we go. So let's just go to material. So, whoops. Let's just go to solid, actually, so I don't have to. Okay, there we go. Oh, no. So, actually, let's just go wireframe. Let's go wireframe. There you go. There you go. So, here, let's zoom in real quick. So, the entire scene looks like, am I upside down? Oh shit, I'm upside down. Okay, cool. No, I'm not upside down. Okay. So the entire scene looks like that. So we'll let that kind of set back. There we go. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Like a lot of it's just kind of simple, like geometry, like, you know. And so what I use is like Megascans textures, and Megascans is really, really cool. And someone's asking, is Blender good for handling lots of poly objects? In my opinion, yeah, because they have collections, and as long as you make a collection of something, it's like an instance, it actually keeps your file size like pretty low. So what I do normally is like, this is kind of like my scene, but like my previous scene, what I do is, I'll change scenes right here real quick so you can kind of see it. Give that a second, because I'm doing like, I have Photoshop open. I love my computer though. I have like two 2080s, so therefore I can like have like three different programs open, and it won't like my thing won't explode. But as I say that, it's quite possible that I could be like effing myself, and it could, you know. Okay, cool. So normally what I do is I model it all off to the side. So you can see this is actually going a lot quicker because I don't have anything like crazy render going on right now. So you can see all that. And so what I do is I just make a bunch of pieces usually. And then what I do is, yeah, this is a lot smoother. I don't know why. That's random. Okay, but yeah. So probably because I don't have a lot of foliage in there. All that foliage I had probably fucked me. But anyways, so yeah, so I just build a bunch of pieces until like I have some stuff. Why is that being weird? I don't know. That's weird. So yeah, I build a bunch of pieces and then I just kind of put them together. And then it's kind of like Legos at that point. So I just kind of look at like basic references. I'm looking at stuff like this. This is like, I want to say in like United Emirates or whatever. So then I kind of look at that as like some kind of inspirational reference. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I just kind of start making stuff. And then once I have enough stuff, I kind of just put it together and see what I can make from it. And then what I do is I break stuff apart. I use like the shatter function. So, because of course you got to have like some Uncharted, like, you know, broken down thing. So when you do that, you got to like use the shatter function, and that will break it into pieces. So then if I want to have like little pieces right here, kind of just like chilling, you know, I now have that option to kind of just rotate it around. So yeah, so I'll get some inspiration. I'll do a bunch of that stuff, and then I'll just kind of work until I find something that I'm good. Once I do that, I'll take this whole scene, I'll bring it into a new scene, and I'll kind of just mess with the render there. So it's kind of a little bit kind of like pixelated right now. I don't know why. And so for the textures, what I use is all right, don't crash on me. This might be the moment where I went too far. Is I use Megascans. Megascans is like it's kind of like a not pay to win, but like it costs money because it costs like a monthly fee of like $20, I think. But it has like every like texture imaginable, and it's pretty freaking useful, considering that you can like make whatever you want in here. So a good example of this is like, let's just say that I make a new, I'll make a new plane right here, right? So plane, hello plane, all right? See that? I'll use Dino Sculpt. So turn off the symmetry. We don't want you. And we'll make this like really, really big. And there's all kinds of like things you can use here, but all right. So let's say that I wanted to make like a typical mountain, right, and all that kind of stuff. So you can see how I'm kind of making this nice little piece here. And of course I can always smooth it out, but I don't really care for the sake of argument. All right, cool. So let's say that I like this form or whatever. Megascans gives you like a little plugin, so you can just drag and drop it. So what's cool is that like if I type in like, I don't know, rock, right? Rock, sand, something like that. I gotta find a shader. I mean, you can download these as like actual assets if you wanted to. So right now, if I really wanted to, I could actually like download that. So, because I have points, right? I have a bunch of points, so they cost points, and so you pay a monthly fee, replenishes your points, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's kind of cool, right? 98%, 99, 100, boom. So now if I want to export it, it's gonna export it, and then give it a second. I think it's converting all the textures. Now that file is right there. So everything that I want, I can now use that and begin to kind of use that as a base, right? So that's kind of cool, right? Because I can use it as a base. I can begin to kind of make a composition out of it. And the cool part is that this is a query cliff. I don't know what texture that is, so I'll just type in query. So apparently query cliff is this guy right here, a layered rock, right?